I'm Larie and welcome to your yoga flow. Today's focus is all about the hips and the muscles surrounding the hips as well. So think hamstrings, quads, IT band, low back, and of course the muscles inside of the hips like your piriformis, psoas, and of course those glutes. What you need today is a mat, and I highly encourage having a yoga block handy just in case you want a little added elevation. It's optional, so I don't have one, but it is always encouraged and highly recommended. Let's go ahead and begin lying down on your back with knees bent, feet flat, and let's get going. Once you're in this position, make sure you're in a nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis, so we can have a small space underneath the low back, but we don't want that excessive arch where we spill into the anterior pelvic tilt, and we don't want to press into it where we're tucking the pelvis under, squeezing the glutes into that posterior tilt. So we want to go somewhere in between, neutral, think rib cage stacked over pelvis. Let's begin. Heel toe the feet 2 to 3 times out from hip distance. So think right around mat distance or a little farther apart, unless your mat is as big as mine. Take a big deep inhale. Then on the exhale, let the knees cave inward. Now they may not touch right now, but every time we do it, I want you to try to deepen the stretch. So inhale back to center, exhale, we're coming a little closer. Inhale to the starting position, feet on the mat, exhale, knees come in. Maybe we're going a little farther this time, twice more. Inhale, exhale, a little closer. Inhale, back to start. Exhale, deepest stretch yet as we hold, not the breath, just the pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale back to center, heel to the feet, hip distance, and start to sway both knees off and over to the left, keeping the shoulders grounded on the mat. Inhale back to center, exhale other side. Just getting nice and warm. We have this for 4 more times, so we'll be doing everything in 5s today. So 5 each side. Feel free to go at your own pace. You and I never have to go at the same speed, same tempo. You can go a little bit quicker, add a couple more reps. You can go slower. If something feels good, you can hold it. This is your practice. So I encourage you to make it your own, because today's intention is to feel good and give your body what it needs. I want you to leave this practice today feeling like you sprayed some WD-40 over your joints and just like lengthen those muscles, like stretch the muscles out to where you perform better throughout your everyday life and everyday activities. So we're doing this now to benefit you, well, right now, but also in the future. So explore the poses today, explore your body, and find what feels good for you. And that's gonna look and feel different for everyone, as everyone is unique. And that's a good thing. Last time. Bring it up to center. Draw the left knee off the mat on the next inhale. Cross that left foot over the right quad. And on your next exhale, guide that right knee off and over to the left. So we're using the weight of the left foot to guide that right knee down. And this is really great for that internal rotation of the hip. This can go a little bit unnoticed. So this is really, really good. We're gonna move your hips in all directions today, leaving you feeling good. And let's start to pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe through it as we hold for 5, 4, 3. Press, press, press. 2, and 1. Bring it up to center. Other side. Use the weight of the right foot to guide the left knee off and over to the right. You may find that one side is tighter than the other. That's normal, but that's something that we want to bring awareness to and start to really bring awareness to our everyday life and how we're sitting. Or are we leaning to one side a little bit more? That's creating that muscular imbalance. So if this is your tighter side, be sure to show it some extra love. Let's start to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold the pose, not the breath, as you breathe through it. For 5, press that right foot down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug both knees into the chest, and let's start to make some circles clockwise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counterclockwise. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug both knees into the chest. Bring the soles of the feet to the sky. Grab a hold of the outer blades of the feet and just press those knees in towards the armpits and just rock side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the right foot long. Now we're focusing mainly on the left. If you need to bend that right knee, that's fine. This will get that hip flexor more involved and start to stretch out that quad, but do what feels good for you. On the inhale, press against that hand. On the exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. 3 more times. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Last time, inhale, press. Exhale, pull and hold. Just the pose, not the breath. On the next inhale, grab a hold of the outside of the left quad with the right hand and sway it off and over to the right for a little spinal twist. Just work on guiding the left shoulder down. Big, deep inhale. And on the exhale, come out of it, straighten the left leg, dorsiflex at the ankle, grab a hold of grab a hold of your hamstring, and just start to pulse it back for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold and breathe through it. With every exhale, just pull it a little closer. One more time. Hold this position. We're going to get to the IT band, but first, I want you to take your left hand on your left hip. Don't let that left hip move. Take your right hand on the outside of your left quad and gently guide it over so we can get into the side of your left leg. Now, this is a very small movement for most. Remember, keep your left hip on the ground. I find that you can get a deeper stretch in the IT band if you keep it on the ground versus letting it come over. So just kind of depends on what we're focusing on, and that's what we're focusing on right now, but feel free to do what I just did as well. You can even start to pulse it, but find that stretch along the side of the leg. If I was looking at a clock right now, my foot's somewhere in between 1 and 2, more towards 1. Hold and breathe. Last big deep inhale. On the exhale, hug both knees in and make those circles. You can count to yourself. And now we're going to reverse those circles. Last one. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Soles of the feet towards the sky, and give yourself a little happy baby rock side to side. Bring all swing to a stop. Release the left leg long. Whoo, big deep inhale. Press against that hand. On the exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull last time. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull and hold. Just the pose, not the breath. Keep the foot where it is. On the next inhale, grab a hold of the outside of the right quad with the left hand and let it sway off and over. A little spinal twist. Breathe through it. Work on guiding that shoulder down. You don't have to go as deep as I am here. You can, by all means, you can go deeper in this stretch, but you can stay conservative with it. You know, always do what feels good for you. I cannot stress that enough. On the next inhale, come out of it, straighten the right leg, grab a hold of the hamstring with both hands, clasp it, dorsiflex at the ankle, and let's just start to make gentle pulses. Gentle, but we're feeling a stretch. Twice more. And hold. Just the pose, not the breath. With every exhale, just work on guiding it maybe a little deeper. Last time. Hold the position of the leg. Take the right hand to the right hip. Don't let that right hip move. Left hand comes off and over, and a gentle guide over to the left as we're feeling it along that IT band. And you may feel it in different places depending on where your body is a little tighter. Again, we're all different. We'll feel this in different ways. One more big deep inhale. And on the exhale, release. Inhale, arms overhead, reach the body long. And I want you to make the body into a banana. So take both legs off and over to the right side and take both hands off and over to the right side. So you're making a C with the body. Take the right leg on top of the left and grab a hold of one of your hands, doesn't matter which one, and just work on guiding the left shoulder down. You could even switch the position of the legs and just cross the right foot over the left. See if that feels better for you. It's a little lying down side body stretch. I like to call this a banana because we kind of look like a little banana. This is one of my favorite poses to do. It looks simple, but wow, it can really be effective, especially if you start to draw the chest open and draw that hip down towards the mat. And let's come out of it. So inhale, reach overhead, make the body long, and then let's take it to the other side. So feet go off and over to the left, hands go off and over to the left, and we'll start by taking the right foot on top of the left. See if that feels good. Clasp the hands like this and just work on pulling. But if you want, you can also switch the legs and see if that feels better for you. I believe I like this position better. I like both, so play around with it. And work on drawing that chest open. So drawing the shoulder blade down and drawing the hip down. One more deep round of breath. And come out of it. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Let's rock and roll. Spinal rolls. Take it nice and slow. 5 here. We have 4 more. 3, 2, and on this one, come all the way up, face me, and meet me in this 90 position. Take the back hip and internally rotate it towards the front. So we're going to work on the internal rotation again. This hand will go off and over towards that hip. Work on opening up the shoulder and then reaching. So we're going to feel it in the side body, and we're also going to feel it in that hip. Now start to reach up and over for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Breathe through it. And let's take it to the other side. So switch the position of the feet. Take your back hip, rotate it inward. Take the opposite hand and reach up and over. So a little side body stretch. We're going to feel it in that hip. And now start to reach for 5. 4. 3. 2, 1, and hold. Inhale, come out of it. As you exhale, come up on those hips, press it forward. And now we're going to take it to the other side. So now we're facing the front of your mat. Adjust your feet as needed and bring it forward. Take it to the other side. Go slower if needed. We have 5 of these. You can always just do 4. You can do 6. We just want to make sure we hit both sides, equal amounts. And this practice may not be perfect. I might say 5 and I'm doing 6 or 4. I lose count sometimes because it feels so good. One more each side. Bring the hands forward. Take that left knee back and meet me in a tabletop position. Inhale, belly down, gaze up. On the exhale, around the spine. Inhale, belly down, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine. Every time you do this, I want you to exaggerate the movement more. Get more out of this pose with every single rep. Twice more. Last time. Meet me in a neutral spine, and let's start to make big, deep, expansive hip circles, stirring a pot with your hips clockwise. We have this 5 times. Last 2. Last one, and reverse those circles for 5, like you're drawing a circle with your hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we combine those 2. So as you take it to your cow, we're going to start to bring that hip off and over to the left as we come into cat. Inhaling, exhaling. This may feel a little weird at first, but again, just make it your own. We have this one more time. And let's reverse those circles. Last time. Meet me in a neutral spine. Reach your right hand long towards the right side of the mat. Spin the heart open towards the left side and just let it lean for single arm puppy pose. Start to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. Other side. Single arm puppy pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bilateral puppy pose. Breathe and hold. On your next inhale, frame the face with both hands. Press off until you're in your tabletop position. Walk the hands back. Left foot comes forward. Square off the hips. You may want to widen the stance or base a little bit more to help with balance. Keep a neutral low back as you reach the right arm up and over. So really getting into your hip flexor, into your quad. And then start to take it back, dorsiflexing at the left ankle and getting into your hamstring. Exhale, feel it. Spin towards the foot to feel it more. If you have a wall or a yoga block handy, this is where you may want it. One breath, one movement. Inhaling. Exhaling to ham. Inhale, hip and quad. Exhale, hamstring. Twice more. Last time. And hold your hamstrings pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it forward, heel to the foot in. Just a little bit, 2 or 3 times, and then sway that foot open. Stay upright on your fingers or on your hand. And then start to guide your left hip back. So place the top of the right foot down and start to spin. So you're spinning the left hip back, right hip forward, and let that foot just open up like a book. And start to pulse it back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now take that right foot. We're not going to go deep into it yet, so we're just going to warm up that quad. Just start to lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Take that left arm. Just start to reach it back and pulse again for 5, 4. Left hip's going back and over. Last one, hold and melt for 5, 4. Wow, this is a deep, deep stretch here. 3, 2, 1. Spin it back. Come back to your tabletop position. Walk the hands back and let's take it to the other side. Right foot goes forward, wide base to start, neutral low back. Take that left arm up and over. Hold here, let's feel it into that left hip flexor, down into the left quad, right hip back, left hip forward. We'll intensify the stretch. Now release it long, straighten the right leg, dorsiflex at the right ankle as we go into your hamstring, and you may feel a little into that calf as well. One breath, one movement. Inhaling, reaching up and over, exhaling back. 3 more times at your own pace. Last time. Hold the hamstring pose. Feel it along the back of that right leg. Spin right hip back, left hip forward. Ooh, that always gets it a little bit more. One more deep round of breath. And come forward into your lunge. But first, heel to the foot towards the midline of the body. Spin the right foot open. Take the right hand onto the right inner thigh. Release top of left foot and start to guide it back. So think about taking right hip back, left hip forward. And that's really going to start to open up those deep muscles located inside of your hip, especially your glutes and your piriformis are really just loving this right now. So let's start to pulse it for 5, gentle, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now let's add that back leg, just very small. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach that right arm back over. Let's start to pulse again. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and melt. Big rounds of breath here. Feel that breath. That inhale down and around, expanding the low back. Breathe into the stretch. One more big deep inhale. On the exhale, come out of it. Bring the right knee towards the left and just start to sway the hips off and over to the left. Bring it back to the center and right. So we're somewhere in between an up dog and a tabletop position, but we're adding just a little bit of hip rotations. I love this one. 3 more times each side. Last 2. Last one. Come center and just let those hips melt. Start to straighten the back legs. Big deep inhale. And then on the exhale, curl the toes, and let's take it to our first downward facing dog of the day. Let's pedal out those heels. Right and left. Left heel down, right heel's up. Breathe into it. Drive the chest towards the quads. Switch heels and breathe and press. Both heels lift up on the inhale, and then on the exhale, both heels reach down. 4 more times. Heels up, heels down, heels up, heels down. Press, press, press. Twice more. And last time. Press and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, look up at the hands, let the hips melt for a little upward facing dog. On the exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. 4 more times at your own pace. Feel free to modify if needed. You can come to the knees and reduce the range of motion. Again, make it your own. 3 more times. Twice more. Last round. Hold your downward facing dog. Heel to the right foot towards the midline of the body. Left foot goes up. Open the hips. So try to stack the hips on top of one another. Bend the left knee and start to reach the left toe towards the mat. And just start to pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left leg long, square off the hips. And on the exhale, bring the left foot inside of the hands. Rotate towards me as we come into Skandasana, opening up the hips and opening up those adductors, your inner thighs. And then start to sway it over to the other side. Your heel can be lifted starting out. That's okay. Take it over to the other side. Let's start to add the hand. Use the hands as a guide. Try to shift the weight back on the heel. If you have the balance, if not, heel can stay lifted. And hold this side. As we rotate open, start to shift the weight back if needed. You can use the other hand as balance, but just take it back. Press, rotate, and open. We're here for 5, 4, breathe through it. 2, and let that top hand just collapse inward. Spin it towards what is now your front foot. Release your top knee down, right top of foot. We're coming into a pose that we did earlier. So let that foot just open up. Take the left hand to the left inner thigh and start to pulse it back. This time going a little bit deeper than before. Really press against that inner thigh. Open up the glute. Open up the piriformis. Breathe into it. Now you are welcome to stay right here as this is your practice. If you want to take it one step further, start to bend the right knee, reach, reach, reach. And if you can, if it's accessible, grab a hold of that right foot. If you have a hold of that right foot, start to bring it in, pulse it, pull it towards the glute, adding the quad for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Not the breath, just the pose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring the left foot back onto the mat and then take the left foot, heel toe it until it is behind the right wrist. Left knee behind the left wrist, and we're in pigeon. Big deep inhale here. Spin right hip forward, left hip back. On the exhale, come down. Inhale up, take it a little bit more to the left. Exhale down. Inhale up, spin a little bit more towards the left. Exhale down. Inhale up, spin more towards the left. Exhale down. Inhale, spin more towards the left. Exhale down. And this is where we're going to hold. So you can come to the forearms. You can just let that head collapse. Find what feels good for you and breathe into that left hip. Last round of breath. Come back to the hands, undo that twist, curl right toe under, lift right knee off, take the left knee back, so we're somewhere in between up dog and tabletop, and we're taking the hips left and right. 5 times. Last round. Hold center. Press against the top of the feet as we come into a full upward facing dog. As you exhale, curl the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now let's take it to the other side. So left foot comes in towards the midline of the body. Right toes reach long, open up the hips, so stack it. Bend the right knee and reach those right toes towards the mat as you just start to pulse. Make sure that left hand is grounded for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square off the hips. Inhale, exhale. Foot goes in between the hands and rotates away from me. We'll be facing away from each other just momentarily, but don't worry. You can always spin it around and look towards me if you want. We're just coming into Skandasana, getting nice and set in this side first. So spin the heart open, reach left hand up, and walk it over to the other side nice and slow. Spin it, reach right hand up. And we're not just spinning open with this right hand, we're also pressing against that inner thigh with the left elbow. Walk it to the other side. Open up. Walk it to the other side. Open up. Walk it. Open. Walk it. Open. Walk it. Open. Last round. Walk it. Spin and open. And once we get back to this right side, we're going to hold. And if you can, release that right heel towards the mat. Spin it, open up, press against that right inner thigh. One more big deep inhale, open, open, open. Exhale, collapse the chest inwards, spin it towards the front foot. Release left knee on the mat, left top of foot. Let the foot open up. Take the right hand to the right inner thigh. Ooh, start to guide it back a little bit more. Getting back into our modified lizard. So we're just making this lizard a little bit more unique. Pretty similar, just a little different position of your feet, of your base, and what we're doing with it, the intent behind it. Hold here. If you did it on the other side, try to do it this side. And your sides may not be perfect. That's okay. That's just something to work towards. Reach it over. And if you can, bend the left knee and grab a hold of that left foot. If you have a hold of the foot, start to pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Just the pose, not the breath. One more big deep inhale. And on the exhale, release it long, come out of it. Heel toe the right foot over until the right heel is behind the left wrist and your right knee is behind the right wrist. Big deep inhale here, release top of foot. Exhale, bring it down a little bit. Inhale up, walk it over to the right. Exhale down. Inhale up, walk it over to the right. Exhale down. Stretch is getting deeper. Inhale up, walk it over. Exhale down. Inhale up, walk it over. Exhale down and hold. One more big deep inhale. On the exhale, come back to the hands, undo the twist, curl left toe under, lift left knee off, send right leg back, release the knees and take it to that side to side. Little twist 5 times. Last time we're doing this. One more time each side. Hold center, release the toes long, press, 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 big deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring it back into a downward facing dog. Lift the heels up, bring the left foot in, rotate towards me until we're facing one another. Heel toe the feet wide, and just take opposite elbow, opposite hand, and sway it side to side for a little ragdoll pose. Really feeling it along the backs of the hamstrings. The next time you get to your right side, just hold. Release it back to ragdoll, heavy head, yes as a nose with the head. Release all tension in the neck. The next time you get to your left side, bring it further to the left and hold. Release it, one more ragdoll, yes as a nose with the head. Bring all swaying to a stop. Soft bend in the knees until you can bring your hands to the mat. Release right knee, release left knee, coming into our deepest pose of the day, which is frog pose. So I want you to heel, walk the knees wide, just shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Okay, everyone's gonna look different. And then once you feel that stretch along the adductors, so we're getting into your inner thighs here, I want you to start to pulse it back. For 5, 4, 3, these are very small pulses, 2, 1, and hold. Do not hold the breath, hold the pose. As you breathe, think about inhaling down into your pelvic floor, down into the low back. Try to get your low back to move with the inhale. And then on the exhale, it's just going to come back up naturally. So focus on sending your inhale down and around. Into the stretch, into the low back, into the pelvic region. One more big deep inhale. Now little pulses back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we hold. If you want to go deeper, feel free to widen your stance a little bit, shimmying a little bit more. This is enough for me. You can hang out here. You can come to your forearms, let the head rest, do what feels good for you. We're here for about 15 more seconds, so take 2 deep, expansive inhales and exhales. And let's just take one more for good measure. To come out of this pose, everyone comes back to their hands. Bring the right knee in an inch, left knee inch, 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 until we're back facing one another. Let's take it to a side body stretch, getting your QL, your quadratus laborum, cannot talk. Reach it up and over, and we're just going to start to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Spin it open, reach it long. Other side. Hips planted, reach it up and over. Feeling it along the sides for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Spin it open, reach it long. One more big deep inhale. On the exhale, come all the way down to the side of the body. Got to remove my mic for this one. We're going to come into some scorpions. So take it to the belly. Arms go out to the side. Head goes onto the mat. Bend at the right knee. And we're going to take it up and over and just start to pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we alternate. Take it nice and slow. Keep your forehead, if you can, on the mat. I'm just lifting mine due to my mic. Nice and slow. This is great, opening up your hip, but also getting some mobility into the low back as well. Twice more each side. Last one. Inhale, and on the exhale, come to the belly, hug the knees in towards the chest. We'll just gracefully shimmy back onto the mat. And let's come to our figure 4 stretch. We'll start with the left leg on top of the right. Press the left knee towards the wall in front of you. Don't let it collapse in. Draw the right knee in. Hands go in between the space you just created. Dorsiflex at the ankle. Inhale, press against that left inner thigh. Exhale, pull. So press and pull, figure 4. Inhale, press against left inner thigh. Exhale, pull it in. 3 more times, just like that. Last time. Hold the position of the feet. Release the arms long. And let's start to take it off and over to a figure 4 spinal twist. Work on drawing it open. So press, press, press that way. And hold. One more big deep inhale. And on the exhale, come out of it. Let's do the other side. Cross and switch. Press. Grab. Dorsiflex. Inhale, press against the inner thigh. Exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. This is my tighter side. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Last time. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. And hold. Hold the position of the feet. Release arms long and take those feet off and over. I like to just give a little bit of help with the hand, just pressing open. And now hold. One more big deep inhale. On the exhale, hug the knees in, going into our final happy baby pose of the day. Explore this pose, get what you need out of it. Make circles, rock side to side, press and pull. Getting a little deeper than what we did at the beginning of this practice. Hug the knees into the chest, tuck the chin towards the chest, squeeze everything, squeeze the spot in between your eyebrows, squeeze the lips, squeeze the chest, the arms, the triceps, the core, the glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, your toes, squeeze it all. And then on the exhale, release it long. We have come to the end of your practice, ending in your Skandasana. If you feel any sort of tension in the body, bring awareness to that area and start to send the breath there. So first, start with the head, then bring it towards the chest. Scan both arms. Scan the belly. Do you find any tension in your low back? Take the inhale and send it there. Taking our scan down to our glutes and our hips. Down into the legs, the quads and the hamstrings. Down to our calves and into the toes. As we start to conclude this practice, focus on making your deepest, longest inhales yet. If we can focus on lengthening the inhales, the exhales will follow. And as you focus on the length of the inhale, focus on sending your air as you inhale down. The diaphragm travels down. We're filling up your low back with air. Sides of the rib cage, 360 expansion on your inhale. 2 more of your longest and deepest breaths yet. Nice work. When you're ready, reach the arms long overhead, point the toes. Big deep inhale, stretch the body long. Exhale, roll to one side of the body. Lift off really carefully and meet me in a nice, easy seat. I hope you feel so much better now. The whole purpose of this video is to feel good, not only right now, but later throughout the day, tomorrow, next day. I hope you enjoyed. Again, make this practice your own. Make all workouts your own. Don't force this practice onto your body. Make this practice fit your body. Move in different directions, explore. I cannot stress that enough, that everyone is going to look different. Everyone is going to feel different, but make it your own and get what you need out of it. So I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Your love and support means the world. If you enjoyed this, please let me know below. And most importantly, y'all, have an amazing rest of the day. You rock. Namaste.